So today we talk about these two subjects, like as a slash, because it was the title of a subject of the webinar. And as I mentioned, here is a speaker from Kiel University, Dr. Nina Keul, talking about Marine Geosciences Master's Levels program. But before that, who is behind the session? This is my German University, a database of English study programs, the study finder of which you can see as a demo version on the left side of the slide. However, if you check the page itself, you will see it in a more detail. I will also show it to you in a minute. I just want to mention that this study finder has lots of very useful filters that could be combined, and those filters are there to search efficiently for a program which is fully or partially taught in English. So in Germany, you have this chance to also start your studies in English, sometimes even conclude them in English, but also there are always opportunities to have some German courses, etc., etc. So I want to say that those filters can be combined. This is very helpful. And then you can even rank or sort programs according to desired feature, for example, application, deadline, CT, etc., etc. I will be highly recommending checking out those articles as they are very interesting, especially for internationals. They are not just broad collection of information, but it's also country-specific information. Frequently asked one is about scholarships and visa. So in case you want to know some details about your country in terms of, for example, DAD scholarship, feel free to check that out. We have other multiple articles as well, and they are free of charge, so that you could check that out. As for the webinars, you already know subject webinars because you are here right now, and we are always very happy to have guest speakers who have time to join us, because believe me, university staff is always very, very busy, and we always appreciate this commitment in this regard. But we also have general webinars when my colleague Marie talks about broader topics like UniAssist, scholarship, visa, studying in Germany generally. And in case there are general questions today as well, I will be most likely either linking the upcoming webinar. For example, tomorrow we have one about visa like this, or I will be also sharing articles as an answer to broader questions. In those general webinars, we also have a Q&A part for 30 minutes, so feel free to join them as well in case you are interested in one of those topics. And I'm always happy to share this slide. This is our team, very international, from different countries. We have team members that are from Germany. Therefore, we try to share this insight of studying in Germany as expats and also Germans. So these 2 points of views, and then you are the ones that will combine this together for your studies. So now, if you check Geoinformatics and Geoscience degrees in our study finder, and this is how the broader version looks like, you could select subject. And it says 3 now because I selected subject as Geoscience, and there is a subfield, so it's the same. I just wanted to show you that it could be that you select 3. And then all of those filters have a breakdown. So according to application, deadline, requirements, finance, university program features. Here, for example, about the work experiences needed or not, and some other details. The first natural breakdown is into bachelor and master. Of course, we talk about master here. So there are 55 masters, and English only means that there are some programs that do not require German at the application process, and program can be taught fully in English. If you are just wondering how it feels studying this field in Germany, does it make sense, etc., what are perspectives? Of course, you are attending this webinar for that purpose, but at the same time, you could have a look at the subject page where we provide overall information about different points like application, admission, language requirements, tuition fees, and of course, the universities that do offer programs in this direction. We always advise you to select a university and program profile and not be guided by some single aspect, because all programs are very different and worth of your attention. always question arises because we in Germany there are universities and universities of applied science, and people don't always know the difference and why there are different types. That's why if you want to know about the historical differences, etc., you are welcome to check out our article. But today I just want you to know that usually programs offered by universities are more research and theory oriented, while programs offered by University of Applied Sciences have more practice and application orientation. However, all programs are individual, individually set up, so there could be some exceptions on both sides. We always advise you to search programs by subject, not program name, not to miss out great programs that are not specifically called geoscience or geoinformatics, so that you are welcome to play with words or better select by subject. And yeah, now I want to give the floor to the main figure of today's webinar, which is Dr. Nina Köhl, talking about marine geoscience. Just quick facts about the program on the left side, which is important, the application deadline here. But I would also advise you starting it already sometime now. And the location, of course, but
I'm happy to present to you today our master's program in marine geosciences, but I'm not here by myself. I have brought two other people with me, Angelika and Libby. They are from the university administration, so they know all the answers to the questions you might have about how to study and what to study in Germany. And Libby is actually one of our international students, so she has a first-hand experience how it is to study in our study program. So she has the more, I would say, detailed, in-depth focus. So I'm going to start with a rundown of our program. I am the program coordinator, and the head of the examinations board is Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘈. You can find our email addresses here. As a first point of contact, I would ask you to contact me, and I then always discuss all the matters with Julia. Okay, some general information. It's an international program, so this means everything is fully in English. You do not have to have German language capacities. It is a full-time program, so this means it has a total of 120 ECTS points, like any programs in Europe. The prerequisite is you need to have a bachelor's with 180 ECTS, and we ask you to have roughly 50 ECTS from geosciences subjects. So, however, we treat that relatively broadly. So if you are, for instance, from a Bachelor of Geography, you can still apply. I would just ask you to check first with me your transcript of records. I do then a pre-check and see whether you are eligible to apply. But we have many successful students in our study program that are from other bachelors other than geosciences per se. So it is possible, and they do very well. And we really enjoy the interdisciplinary focus they bring with them. Okay, we have a cutoff of 2.5 on a grade scale. So this is for all our international programs at Kiel University. So we take your grade, we convert it to the German system, and then it needs to be better or equal to 2.5. You need a certificate to show us that you can actually speak English. And some other details about our study program is it runs for 4 semesters, and it has a very clear structure, which I will go over in a little bit. And we always start in the winter semester. So this is roughly sometime in October. Most of our students, they get to Kiel the latest at the beginning of October. The application deadline for 2025 is on April 15th, but like Nina already said, please start to prepare your application a bit earlier, because there's quite a lot of documents you need to upload. For instance, your transcript of records and so on and so forth. The application is handled via UniAssist, and I'm sure there's also demos from my German university on how to use UniAssist. And so basically they handle the application status, you apply there, and I can actually then log myself into this UniAssist and see your application. And if I then have further questions or something, I will usually reach out to you. I think we've covered everything in here. Feel free to drop a question if you have more detailed questions about this. Okay, why would you study marine geosciences? Well, I assume you have an interest in marine topics, marine geology in general, are interested in maybe also technology, and this is one thing that sets us apart, scientific work. So we actually do real research in our study program. So we, for instance, we take you on a cruise, we take you onto a lot of field work. So it's very, very real to real science. And what also sets us apart is that we have a high interdisciplinary focus. So this means you get to work in different disciplines, including obviously geology, geophysics, but also biology, climate physics, sustainability, and so on and so forth. I'm probably the best example. I am teaching in marine geosciences. However, I'm a biologist by training. So we are actually really, really, really interdisciplinary, and we really enjoy this a lot. I'm not going to go into the full detail of our participating working groups. So this is just to give you an overview of the full field, the full breadth of working groups that are actually teaching in our program. We do have a group in paleontology and historical geology, coastal geology, paleoceanography and climate, paleoceanography and marine geology, marine micropaleontology, so very typical geoscience topics. We are actually a very big institute, so this means almost all the specialties in geosciences are actually present at our institute, and many of those lecturers teach at least one small part of a module in our course. So that way you get to experience the full breadth that geosciences in general has to offer. We also have quite a lot of lectures from the GeoMa. So they are involved in teaching, they are involved in our master theses and other projects, and we have a very close exchange with them. Many of our students actually work at the GeoMa as a research assistant, so there's a close link between our study program and the GeoMa. And actually many of our students, after doing the masters with us, they decide to venture on and do their PhD at the GeoMa. Other working groups we have is, for instance, ocean circulation and climate dynamics. This one is actually led by a professor from the GeoMa, but we also do paleoclimate and modeling, organic geochemistry, so quite a full range of subjects. We do have a couple of other professors from the GeoMa who focus on marine biogeochemistry or magmatic and hydrothermal systems. We do have we have actually a really big marine geophysics department as well. So as you see, it's a full depth of disciplines that all come to teach with us and teach you. Okay, this is a bit dry, but it's actually the important document which tells you what kind of courses you are going to be studying with us if you choose us. It's our study plan, and I just put it here to give you an idea about the flexibility we offer. So our first semester is kind of the semester where everybody, because it's an international study program, so you come from all over the world, and everybody gets to settle in Kiel. And like I said, many people are from different bachelors, so we try to get you all on the same page. So there is specific core courses, like with requirements and knowledge that we think everybody needs to have, because in the second semester, we actually take you to the field. So in the second semester, you're not going to be a lot in the classroom, but you're going to be almost all the time in the field. You're going to get to board our research vessels. You're going to go into the field, get your hands dirty, and really work as a geoscientist. And the third semester, we have a high amount of compulsory elective courses. You can do your mobility there. So quite a lot of our students, they choose to actually go on an Erasmus semester or something. And then in the first semester, you're going to do your master thesis. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see the list of all the compulsory elective courses. And you can actually choose a total of 5 complete modules, so 5 times 5 ECTS, of courses from according to your liking. So this is a high percentage of the overall 180 ECTS you have. And our students choose all different subjects. Some do law of the seas, some do something really in-depth in geosciences, for instance, petrological modeling, and of course, lots of things in between. There's a few institutions, I would say, at Kiel University that help our students to actually achieve and get the knowledge that they want. One of those institutions is CEU. It's the European University of the Sea, and basically it is a consortium of, at the moment, already 9 universities all over Europe, where we are exchanging a lot. We are exchanging, obviously, courses, students, PhD students. We are exchanging our research interests. So basically, it is like a mobile campus, if you wish so. And this means via CEU, you suddenly have the possibility to study at 8 other universities. And there's a high component of digital teaching. So this means in some cases, you don't even need to leave your, let's not say couch, but desk at home to participate in these offers. It's a really great opportunity. It's funded by the European Union. And if you come to Kiel, you should really take the opportunity to do at least one of the classes via CEU. There's so many possibilities to do. Okay, I was a bit too quick. What I talked about, yes, there is a high digital component to it. We actually really enjoy blended intensive programs. So this is a combination of you do some part at home, everybody joins online, similar like we do today. And then after a certain amount of time, after you have gotten quite a lot of knowledge, everybody meets for an intensive course at one of those 9 locations. And usually it has a fieldwork component or something else to it. And then at the end, you all work on the final project presentation, depending on how the course is structured. And we have a lot of future skills courses as well. And obviously a lot of mobility between students, but not only students. Actually, we do not only connect our students, but we also connect our researchers, our professors, our technical staff, our administrative staff, so that everybody gets to participate in CEU. We are in the process of designing some joint degree programs. For instance, one about blue economy, but there's quite a lot of CEU, so you should really check out their webpage. 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵 is another program that we have integrated into Kiel University. It's a short acronym for Foster Young Ocean Researchers Development. So basically here, all these students from a bachelor's level to a PhD level, they can all join in 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵 and participate in this program. We assume they all have a marine ocean-oriented theme. They're all interested in studying this. And you get to exchange. You get to participate in courses. There is several meetings. There is fun things like socials. There's also courses they offer about certain topics. So it's one of the possibilities for you to get further knowledge while you are at Kiel University. And actually, you cannot only choose classes from the study curriculum we have designed. Like I said, there is a high component of compulsory electives. And at Kiel University, we have an interdisciplinary Master School of Marine Sciences, short IMSMS. And there, all the different faculties, like all the faculties we have, Kiel University is a big university, roughly 16,000 students, so we have many faculties. And all the faculties, they put all their marine-oriented topics into one pot, let's say, and you can choose from there for your compulsory electives as well. So this is where, for instance, you could do law of the seas, or you could do ocean economics, or whatever else it is in your interest. It's a very great opportunity to be able to actually take courses in the other faculties via this possibility. We have, you can actually try this out already, maybe after our meeting today. We actually have an online program. It's called DigiCruise, where we digitized our cruises that we do with the students. And it's accessible on DigiCruise @unikiel.de. It basically gives you a digital research experience on board of our vessel, which we also use in our classes with our students. It's a really fun activity. And okay, so we have a student profile here because I wanted to give you an idea about how it is to study at Kiel University and how it is to study marine geosciences. This is a student profile from Janne Scheffler. She really took all the opportunities that were there. She managed to go on 4 cruises during her master thesis, her master's time. So this means she studied with us just a normal duration. And however, she participated on 4 research cruises. This is very exceptional. Usually students go once, maybe twice. But Jana was really like, okay, I have this opportunity once in my life to go on as many cruises as possible. So I'm going to make it work. And we also made it work because obviously all those research cruises, they do not always happen at term break. So we usually try to work with the students if they miss a few weeks of classes because they are on a research cruise. We usually try to work around this. We are usually a rather small community. We are roughly between 15 and 20 students per cohort. So this is how we can achieve this very close connection with the students. Jana, she was a Hiwi at the Geoma. Like I said, many of our students choose to be a research assistant there. She then got a DAD promo scholarship, so not an Erasmus, but something where you can actually also leave the borders of Europe and go somewhere else for your thesis. She chose to go to Tasmania. I think the picture on the right is also from her in Tasmania. And she actually did before that an Erasmus in Gothenburg. So she basically did it all. She did her thesis in one place, she did an Erasmus in between, she went on the research cruises, she took all different type of courses in between, and she became a very skilled marine geoscientist by doing that. So all the profiles, I'm just showing you one, all the profiles from all our students, they're all going to be different because we have this high part of flexibility. So you can really choose and tailor the Master in Marine Geosciences according to your needs. Like I said, you have access to the German research vessel fleet. Our students really love to make use of this access. I just put a few highlights there in 2023. For instance, many of our students participate on a cruise in the North Atlantic. We had a training course in data visualization in Split, Croatia via the CEU. And actually, this course is happening every year. So for instance, this year they are meeting in Gdansk in Poland. So it's always different places where they are meeting. This year, our students, they were on the PS-141. It's a cruise on the Polarstern, our polar going research vessel, because it has ice class, so it can go through ice. They went to the East Antarctic shelf, and they took their own samples for their master theses. In this case, it's students from me, so they focused on calcifying plankton, but there were plenty of other students on the vessels, because without you, we could never ever do a research cruise, because it needs many hands to be successful on a research cruise.
Thank you, first of all, Nina, for the presentation, all the details. It was really interesting. Dear attendees, I have shared some of the links for the following points. So first, of course, the program page GPA calculator, because it was mentioned 2.5 GPA, and if you want to just allocate yourself right now, feel free to do so. Then Nina was sharing a study plan. The link is also in chat in case you want to see it. And this CEU as well as DG Cruise links are, and some other information is also in chat. Feel free to open that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you also, Angelika and Libby, for taking the questions in written. There was so 4 of them are right now answered. Let's start with the ones that are not answered yet, and then we see how to go. So for the application, does the program require the list of grades from the high school?
So I'm just going to take the questions unless I do not know the answer, then I'm gonna refer to Angelika and Libby. So basically, we do not look at your high school grades, but we ask you to send us your high school diploma. And usually, like at least on the diplomas I've seen so far, the grades are included, but we do not take the grades into account. So if you have a high school diploma where the grades are not on there, that would be fine too, if this is what you're hinting to.
Another question was, are there any application tests and/or interviews?
No, we solely look at your application documents. We really carefully read your letter of motivation, because this usually tells us quite a lot about your interests and so on. We like to look at your CV to get an idea about what you like to do, but we actually really look at your your courses you have taken, whether you fit our program, whether you make the grade cutoff, and so on. So those are usually the things we look at, but we do not have a formal interview or something. In a few cases, we had, for instance, a student from Iran, and it was really problematic for him to do or to give us an English certificate because of the situation in Iran. So actually we met with him before, and we had a few questions with him where we actually discussed science in English to see whether his English is on a high enough level. So, but not a formal interview. If you are from, for instance, India, you need for your visa, you need an APS certificate. And so you need to do an interview at the German embassy, but this is not about content. This is just about like your bachelor's diploma and so on.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Next question is about English language. I believe you frequently have this one. I'm from West Africa, Nigeria. All my certifications and results are in English. Do I need to do IELTS English exam?
Yeah, thanks for asking this question. No, if your bachelor was completely conducted in English, this is fine. We then just need a small note from your university that says that the whole bachelor's was actually held in English. Usually, like at least what I've seen, it's already included with either your transcript of records, or actually sometimes it's also written in the end of the bachelor's diploma. So this is then fine enough. If you do not have if you do not have it in writing yet, then you would need to get your university to create such a letter for us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Is there any connection to data science department for electives?
Yes, very good question. So we have a training course about data science, which happens once a year. It's the one I talked about a little bit earlier on. And we actually are in the process of recertification. So there will be way more data science in the future. So it's going to be its own module. But yes, you can take, for instance, I don't know, GIS or other courses from other departments. So for any of the compulsory electives, you can choose from a list we give you, but there's also so-called free choice modules where you can pick any class at Kiel University. So it does not have to go via, for instance, IMSMS, this Interdisciplinary School of Marine Sciences. You can just take any classes at Kiel University. And since it's such a big class, there's plenty of data science opportunities to choose from.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Just out of curiosity, it wasn't a question, but I wanted to ask if a student is also confident in German at some point, would it be possible to do elective in German language in case he or she wants?
Yes, of course, this is possible. It's obviously not a pre-requirement to be able to speak German because everything is in English. But if you happen to choose from those free choice modules, if you happen to choose a class in a faculty and it's in German, obviously, if you're able to follow this class, that's great for you. And obviously, we're going to give you accreditation for this class. And actually, quite a few of our students have done that. So they were able to improve their, like, usually if they've really ended up taking classes at the end, they had like a very small knowledge of German before coming to, like, I don't know, from a high school course or something, before coming to Kiel. And there's actually quite a few that managed to get their German up very, very quickly and then ended up in their, like, last year, like usually the first semester, take some classes that are actually held in German. And they did not struggle because all our teachers, they are able to speak English. So if you have a very specific question, which you cannot really get your head around in German, the teachers can always explain it to you in English. So this worked very well for our students.
Thank you so much. Another question is, can one apply this preliminary transcript of records 7 out of 8 semesters of the bachelor studies?
Yes, that's also a very frequent question. So thank you very much for asking that one. Yes. So in order to apply, you need to have at least 100 ECTS from your bachelor's, and then we will consider your application. And so this means you can actually have the last semester still missing from your application. That way you actually are able to finish your bachelor and right slide into the master's and start with us without having a gap in between. It's quite a lot of our students that do that. So in that case, upload the preliminary transcript of records and just let us know in your letter of motivation by what time you expect to actually have your classes finished. And if there is a master thesis you are doing, also when that will be done.
Great, thank you so much. Now I will go to the answered questions already and take one that Libby answered. I don't know if you want to voice it, or I don't know if Nina wants to answer. I'll just read it out and then you decide how to handle it. Good evening. You mentioned the law of the sea. Is it covered also from the political point of view? Do you provide access to GIS, remote sensing, seismic analysis tools?
Okay, so I'm sure that Libby has gotten into depths. Sorry, I still can't see anything on my screen despite the last slide. However, the law of the sea, it's actually a class from the law faculty. So while they obviously cover some political aspects, it has mainly this law perspective to it. But there is some other classes that have more of the political aspects. And yes, we do have a GIS course. And sorry, Nino, I do not recall the other questions there were.
No, it was the access to remote sensing, seismic analysis.
Okay, yes. So there is, we have a huge division of geophysics. So they have a lot of remote sensing opportunities and so on. So yes, this is possible. If you have very specific interests, I would suggest you send me an email. And we can then, I can point you to the right direction and you can then check out that department on the webpage and see what they offer. Or you could also get into contact with the professors there. I could then also provide you contact information to our professors.
Thank you. You mentioned UniAssist as application is done through it, and there was a question if the feedback comes through email or through UniAssist, and then Angelika mentioned that it comes through UniAssist. So dear attendees, that's why we always remind you to save your access data to UniAssist, because you will be informed about the result there, so that you don't forget that. There was a question about housing.
Just quickly enter.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So yes, well, UniAssist, they also give you their evaluation. We, however, had a few instances where the decision UniAssist made was not completely what we would have done. And since we have the final say, we actually always send an email to every single student, because in quite a few instances, UniAssist has sent out their rejection emails, and we actually would have wanted to accept the student. So in our case, there is always an email, and it's usually way before the UniAssist, and because they take a long time to actually go through the applications. And I click daily. I'm very interested in seeing who applies. So I look at the new profiles daily. So it's a good idea to register and finish your application as quickly as possible, because I always review it on the go. And so this way, if you are accepted in the program, you can start your visa process earlier and so on. So usually what happens is we send out our acceptance, and then sometime later UniAssist will send out theirs. But our acceptance letter already tells you, in case UniAssist tells you something different, you are 100% accepted if we tell you you are accepted. So you cannot get confused. We have just joined UniAssist about 2 years ago, so we still have to find our groove, I would say, with UniAssist.
Thank you. Maybe then I will also voice the question about the housing there was. Do you have, because also Angelika mentioned the link to, I guess it's international office regarding housing. Is it common that students do get dormitories, or if there are any at the campus?
Yes, we have dormitories on our campus, but the students are advised to check the website from the Studentenwerk, because it's not in our university organization. It's beside of us, and they are responsible for the housing and for the room list. So we advise all international students to apply as soon as possible at the Studentenwerk, and the link which is now in the chat, it's from our website, and there we offer various possibilities. There are more opportunities beside the Studentenwerk. So we have a list of private housing and private dormitories. So, but first come, first search, first come. And the start in the winter semester is always difficult because of the most incoming students in winter semester, but it is possible to find a room.
Yeah, this is also the experience I have. So there's actually some of our students, they are in the student dormitories. And however, there's plenty of other opportunities. I think actually, Libby, you also are in a private flat share, right?
Yeah, I am in a flat with a few girls that I found online. They've got WG gesucht, for example.
Yeah.
That's where all students put their flats up, and it's very easy to find
That's
something.
cool. Can you put in the link into the chat if it's not already there yet? I'm still staring at a frozen screen, sorry.
We
Yeah,
have
I
it
can do
also
that.
on our website. Some links to share, or Airbnb, or some other things.
Exactly, yeah. So far everybody has found accommodation.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I get contacted a lot about accommodation, and I then sent out the same links as Angelika has shared with you. And so far everybody has found something.
Great, thank you so much. The WG gesucht link is also in chat.
Perfect.
And yeah, dear attendees, it's I was also studying in or living at a dormitory, and it's always like this. You need to hunt it because they are very cheap, and of course students want to get that. And in my case, it was also a single room not apartment, but yeah, it was 16 square meters, and it was everything in one place: your kitchen, your bathroom. So you need to check that out. As soon as you get the acceptance letter, feel free to send the request for the dormitory right away.
Exactly.
Another question is, what's the direct link for application for international students? There is no direct link. You need to register on UniAssist. And since the application has already started, you need to search for the specific program, so this program, and then upload the documents that Nina has mentioned in UniAssist and submit it. But for that, you need to also make a payment, which is 75 euros. But it's not by the program, but by UniAssist. And then already you will get in touch, you will be informed about the status, right?
Exactly.
And
You can check out our webpage. So we have listed all the documents you need on our Master Marine Geosciences webpage.
Yeah.
And so you know before you actually check into UniAssist what kind of documents you need. You can prepare them all. And so that's listed there. But then all we do is like we actually give you the link to UniAssist where you then need to locate us and start your application with us.
I will just quickly once again insert all the documents. So this is CV, letter of motivation, transcript of records, copy of degree certificate, English language, and additional documents, which I will all post right now. And you have still a few minutes to copy it, or better directly go to the course page where you see everything once again. All right, and since we also mentioned about English language certificate, if the documents were not issued in English or German, please provide official translations, which is really also very important.
Yeah,
all right.
Needs to be notarized, for instance, if it's, I don't know, in Spanish or something, you need to notarize it for us. So, yeah.
Wonderful. I see no more open questions. I don't know if anybody wants to have
I
a
have
final.
one comment still, because I was asked about the preliminary transcript of records. In some cases, actually, students, they have not found yet the right time to do their English course. And so you can also apply for us if you do not have this English. If you, I don't know, for instance, you apply with us and then your appointment to do your TOEFL is in, I don't know, April or something, May, June, after the deadline, you can still apply with us and just let us know that you have an upcoming appointment where you're going to take this English test. You need the test to actually start studying with us, obviously, but you can apply if it doesn't work out any other way. You can apply with us without having this final document. Obviously, we would prefer that you have the document beforehand, but we also know, especially during Corona, it was really hard for students to get those appointments. I don't know how the situation is right now, because then there was a long backlog. So if you apply with us, but you have your appointment booked to actually do the English test, that's fine as well. Then you just need to mention that in the letter of motivation.
Great. And by the way, dear attendees, for the letter of motivation and CV, there are also recommendations, how long it should be, etc., etc. So yeah, the program provides very detailed information. Follow that carefully. That's why you need a bit more time. Don't write your motivation letter overnight. It should be very, very well thought through. And yeah, this is kind of your ticket to also the study program.
Exactly. You read every single one of them, so it doesn't go to trash, because I'm always very interested to hear your motivation to study with us.
Mm. Wonderful. Then, with this positive note, I would say that we can call it a day.